What's good, y'all? It's your boy Nick here with another Breaking Bad boxing concussion discussion. Feeling a little under the weather, so my apologies for that. But I wanted to come in here, get some lives done. I don't know exactly what I'll be dropping this week, when I'll be dropping this week, so on and so forth. So we will figure that out. We will figure that out, mates. So I hope you guys are well. If you're tuning in, please let me know your thoughts, comments, all that good stuff from this weekend. It was a very lucrative weekend here for your boy Nick here at Breaking Bad Boxing. Sean, what's up, mate? Hope you're doing well today. It was a good week of predictions. Good week of predictions. Yeah, if I wasn't under the weather and my boy Jay from Rush Hour Fight Club was here for this weekend, it'd probably be one of the best weekends of all time. So, but yeah, I mean, I was pretty stoked about getting that Mobility Lester draw. Clearly stoked about getting the Olasquaga under 8.5, 1-3, all that good stuff. So sucks about Jay. Any update about Rush? Unfortunately, not. I haven't gotten a phone call or a text from him. So, his YouTube page and his Twitter page is still inactive. Just been sending him daily prayers. It's all we can do at this point, y'all. I'm just as in the dark as you guys are. Not even just saying that. Truly am. So, really hope to hear from him soon. But, I know, I'm a man of faith. So if you guys are also people of faith, send some prayers. Send whatever you believe to the universe for my boy. So, all we can do here is hope and pray for our boy Rush, because I'm hoping he's doing well. And I'm just as scared and in the dark as all of you guys. So send whatever energy you can out there for my boy. So, Scott, what up, mate? Hope you're doing well today, brother. Hope you're all doing well. But if I do have any updates on Jay and or Rush at any time that I'm allowed to give out, that if I'm told anything by anyone and I'm told that I can tell you guys, I'll be the first to let everybody know. So, but let's lighten the mood, y'all. Let's make it a good little stream here. I won't be on for too long today, just because I got some stuff to do. I'm actually off of work for the week. Haven't had a week off of work since last year, and they essentially forced me to take my time off. So I'm scared about hella stuff and life right now. Friends, girlfriends, kids, and my own grandma. Well, brother, I'll also be praying for you, Sean. Really hope everything goes well. I mean, in times like this, man, all we can do is just stick to our laurels, stick to what we know best, literally put our head down and work, find something that we enjoy and appreciate. So, but again, guys, I promise you have my word. The minute that I hear anything from Rush, I will let you guys be the first to know. Like, what's crazy to me is me and him have a daily communication. As you guys know, we do the Big Bad Box. It's Monday. Holy fuck. It's Monday, and we aren't going to be doing the Big Bad Boxing show after the biggest week in boxing. Like, what the hell, mate? So, well, you got a new sub in me, brother. Hey, Magnifico88, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you very much, man. I hope, if you guys have any boxing fights that you have upcoming that you guys would like me to preview and break down, let me know. I will, this week, I'm going to be breaking down Liam Paro versus David Parot. I will be breaking down Oscar Collazo versus Jason Basin. I'll do Gabriela Fundora versus Alexa Kubicki. I'm actually going to try to actually go to Indio, California, since it's technically like about 4 hours for me to maybe go see Oscar Collazo live. I think that'd be pretty sick. So those are fights I'll be breaking down: is Oscar Collazo, Jason Basin, Gabriela Fundora, Alexis Kubicki. And I'll be doing Liam Paro versus David Petto. I'll have Liam Paro versus David Petto drop by tonight, if not tomorrow morning at latest. Man, how about that Brandon Adams victory? Man, I'm pretty, gave that call out on live stream a few times. I did say that it's more of a closer fight than the odds said, and I didn't like Boachuk's reaction time. And I think we saw a lot of that, his reaction time, especially to the overhand right. But one thing about Brandon Adams is he was fighting on a tight inside guard. His guard was never breakable at any moment. He came in supremely conditioned shape. Brandon Adams looked absolutely incredible. That left to the body and the overhand right was giving Boachuk problems all night. His punch variation to the body was awesome too. Everything from straights, shovel hooks, regular hooks, down punches to the body. On a scale of 1 to 10, the sports weekend this past weekend was like a 14. Easily. UFC Noche was a fun-ass card. Especially, I just rewatched Diego Lopez versus John Silva this morning, man, and a bunch of great sequences in that fight. Canelo Crawford was a spectacle. Billy Lester stole the weekend, in my opinion. What a fucking fight that was. Chuck Adams, war, absolute war. Inoue chose to box his way to a decision, but Inoue showed levels. Inoue showed levels. The only round that I even think you could even possibly give MJ is either round 5 and round 12 because of him clipping Inoue at the end of the round. But so yeah, man. So yeah, Magnifico took Lopez plus 200. Hell yes, my brother. Yeah, I took Lopez as well. He's the only UFC pick I gave out on my live stream on I believe it was Friday or Thursday. Only UFC pick I had. Came up 7 bands this weekend. Heck yeah, GMS. I hope you fuck yeah, brother. Love to hear that. Love to hear that, mate. As they say, tip your bartender. If you got any of those picks for me, the cash apps in the ticker below. Always would love and appreciate any support. It always helps with breaking down 25 to 30 hours of tape weekly. But if none of those picks were for me, just good shit on your come up, mate. Hell yeah. Love to hear it. Love to hear it. Love beating the books in general. So yeah, my best play of the weekend would probably be, the draw, Lester Mobility. That was by a country mile, the best play I'll ever give out on this YouTube. Will I ever call a draw again on this YouTube? Let's be real. Probably fucking not. Probably not. I'll never give out that again. Not because I don't want to, but because that's such a few and far in between call. It's the only draw I've ever given out. And the fact that I'm 1 for 1 on draws, pretty happy camper about that. MJ performance was pathetic. All that talk for nothing. He just wanted to pay 100%. 100%. I posted this on my Twitter. Hey, Ancestry Volt, hope you're doing well, brother. I posted this on my Twitter. 1 second here. I want to see the exact words I used. The exact words I used were because a lot of people were saying this is going to be Inoue's biggest test. I said MJ is overrated by the boxing matches, by the boxing masses. And Inoue stops him the moment he goes through the gears. Low volume back foot, counter merchant southpaw, going all 12 rounds with the monster. Nah. What a horrible take saying all 12 rounds with the monster. Everything else is right. Low volume back foot merchant was literally there to survive. But Inoue didn't go through the gears at any moment. That's the one thing. He didn't go through the gears. Draw, LOL, what? Yeah, if you don't believe me, man, you can go check out my Billy Lester breakdown and prediction. I said in a 10-round fight, I favor that fight to be a draw. I got it at plus 1,500 pre-fight, and I got it at plus 1,400 live after round 6, I want to say. It was one of those fights that everyone's saying, not everyone, but I've heard plenty of people say Lester won. How does anyone clearly score that fight? There's very few rounds in that fight that are clear rounds for anybody. I can understand them saying Lester or Mobility was saved by the 12 rounds. That surprised me that Lester seemed to have the better cardio and conditioning. Granted, he had the better efficiency and punches. So, yeah, Inoue was cautious, came in there to put on a boxing performance. This is also, too, as well, as I shouldn't have taken so heavy on 7 through 12 just because Inoue did say in an interview that he wanted to put on a beautiful display over than just showing violence. So, Inoue didn't have to go through the gears. Easiest fight of his career. Yeah, I'm just pissed off because I had the 7 through 12, and the 7 through 12 would have gotten me, big money. So Adams Inoue points got me paid. Hell yes, hell yes. Adams also got me paid. Adams Ryko Santana got me paid. I was happy camper. Took Ryko Santana by knockout at plus 1,000. That was a hell of a play. Yeah, Bomac had the most interesting outcome of the weekend. 1-1-1 as a coach, right? 1 loss, 1 draw, 1 decision. 2 of those could be controversial, I guess. I guess you could say the draw is controversial depending on how you scored it. And you could say that the Nelson stop is controversial. So Crawford was on another gear, man. Crawford was on another level. Rounds 10 through 12 for Crawford was just absolutely immaculate, man. Gotta love that absolutely immaculate rounds 1 through 12. Let's go. What up, my brother? Swaggy, hope you're doing well, bro. Hope you're doing well, Swaggy. Shout out my boy Swaggy, man. He's the one that tipped off that Agyarko pick. Shout the fuck out my boy right there, man. He made us all killing on the live Agyarko pick, man. What a fucking guy. Fucking, you're my dog, Swaggy. Hope you're doing well. Good news. Santana was there to win. Yeah, Santana came with, honestly, man, you know what was the finalized bit of tape for me that made me want to take Santana over Nelson is Santana's cardio has always been an issue in how he slows and gasses, but his 9th round against Trunk Simpson in the overtime boxing, shit, bro. I thought he looked incredible, showed a different gear. And from what I understand, he took that fight on short notice, bro. So it was just absolutely incredible, man. Same to you, bro. Made a killing off that mobility draw. Fuck yes, bro. I love that people actually took the draw, man. Like, It's funny too, because when you go down and think about that fight from a far perspective, that fight is so hard to break down. Anyone being confident in either side in that fight, it was pretty tough, I will say. The one thing about that fight that I still can't get over, though, is the fact that Lester showed a better cardio in the later rounds. And I know he throws way more efficient volume and way more efficient with his punches. But man, though, my favorite note about my breakdown of that fight is how good of a body puncher Lester is and how efficient he is, but how low volume he is with it. He picked up the volume and the body punching a little bit this fight, but damn, he's so efficient. He probably hit it over a 50% clip to the body. His body punching was absolutely immaculate. I told everyone for weeks to pick Aguiarco. Bro, Davis really won, though. Nah. I don't. I mean, I don't know, bro. I was just happy to get the money. I was just happy to get the money, quite frankly, here for you. I think Aguiarco too, man. The one thing is he is fighting for something bigger than himself, man. To be the first Black Irish champion is big for him, dude. And I love his grit and willingness to go through it, man. I mean, and also he does seem like he's boxing when he's having fun when he boxes. I love boxers that seem like they're having fun when they box, man. The smiling and the, him sticking his tongue out, smiling in exchanges. I just appreciate that. And undeniably, when it comes to judges, this is a huge optic I've noticed with Aguiarco. What is one thing that he did every single round when he went back to his corner? What's one thing he did every single round when he went back to his corner? Hands up, I'm the champ. Let him know I'm the champ. I got that. Smiled, hands up. It's huge, mate. The only time it's ever been done so effectively was, who did Mirko Coelho get robbed against? Pabdastri. I know I'm killing that name, so I'm sorry. But Mirko Coelho got robbed in that first fight against Pabdastri, and every single time he would also raise his hand. So that fight was super close early. I took Aguiarco at plus 500, plus 540, plus 160. Took him a few different times specifically. Davis pulled away. Davis, man, his inside fighting is really good. When he had Aguiarco stuck against the ropes, he did great. But Aguiarco also did one thing so well this fight is before he started losing his shape and his base, which was in the later rounds, he was turning Davis off the ropes so well. Just turning. And eventually when he was turning, he was finally making him punish it. So I had it 6-3-3 Aguiarco. Worst case draw, but Aguiarco won 6 rounds clear. Yeah, I thought Aguiarco, man, I thought the optics of Aguiarco definitely took him the fight specifically. I'm going to be honest, guys, and I'm not just saying this. I don't even remember how I scored that fight. Like, my brain is, one sec. I may have my scoring notepad somewhere. Give me 1 second. Scoring notepad. 1 second. Damn, struggling with these damn headphones. Hilarious. So I got my scoring notepad here, and I honestly don't remember which one was Aguiarco Davis that I scored this for, to be honest with you. So, yeah, honestly, man, this scoring notepad is going to be useless. I was in so much boxing this weekend. Insane. Aguiarco, not the goods, though. Those UK fighters and their IQ haunt me. Yeah, fight IQ is negative, bro. Negative. But his optics look good. That's the one thing. His optics look really good, and I think it could have given him the card in this one. Buddy was outboxing Davis whenever he circled the jab, and he chose to stay for the pocket for who knows what reason. Buddy was outboxing Davis when he circled jab. Yeah, dude. He stuck to, like you said, the original game plan. Jab and move, jab and circle, jab and move, jab and circle. But then they wanted to stay inside and trade. And Davies on the inside, the optics look great for him. It seemed like, which I will say, Aguiarco was catching a lot of those shots, a lot more of those shots than people online were saying that he wasn't. How'd you score Patty versus Crocker? So that one I had it. My useless ass score pad. 9-3. I only gave Crocker the rounds that he dropped him in, and round 10. So I only gave Crocker 3 rounds with 2 10-8s, and Donovan the other 9. But I had money on Donovan under 9.5, so I could have been scoring that fight with green goggles. So that is one thing to also know, is I could have been scoring that fight with green goggles. This is where I fuck up, is I have all these like notes and stuff, and I put like a letter. The only one I put the actual full names was Lester Mabili, because I was watching those fights and all my fights were like melding together. You guys ever have that when you tape so many fights, or you watch so many fights in a weekend that they all kind of just meld and blend together into one like pile of jello? That's kind of what happened for me. Had it 9-3, arguably 10-2 Patty. Yeah, that's how I had it. I had it 9-3, 2 rounds clearly, the 10-8 rounds here that dropped him. So low key, bro, I was going to say this is the biggest robbery I've seen in recent times. It's honestly, it's a pretty damn big robbery. And I kind of expected the draw due to the 2 10-8s. But when they gave it to Crocker, I was fucking shocked. He's one of the worst world champions there is right now. The fact he's a world champion is hilarious. I mean, what's going on at 147, man? Barrios, Haney Norman, good ass fight. Barrios, Pacquiao, or not Pacquiao, I'm sorry. Barrios, Rolly, and Crocker, and then the winner of Haney versus Norman. Greatest chance for Norman if he beats Haney, or Haney if he beats Norman, to unify. I mean, holy hell. I scored at 6-6, but yeah, Yarko didn't deserve the fight, especially by a wide margin. Last round, he could have been scored a 10-10, which gives Davies a point. How often do we really see 10-10s in boxing, guys? Like, it feels pretty freaking rare that we see 10-10s in boxing. If there was any fight this weekend that could have had any 10-10, it was like name any round from Lester Mabili. Holy shit. Crocker, Rolly, Barrios, 147 is in some dark times. It is absolutely insane right now, mate. Like, Crawford said, up and gone, went and chased Madrimov. Boots was like, all right, I'm out of here too as well. And this is what we have, man. This is what we have. So what can we do, mate? What can we do? Sorry again, too, as well, y'all. Like I stated in the beginning of the breakdown, I'm a little bit under the weather. Had some random life circumstances happen over this weekend beyond just, making a killing when it came to boxing. So pretty interesting weekend when you come to balance it all. So, but I'm excited, man. Liam, I'm going to start my Liam Pero tape today. Like I said, I'll try to get that breakdown done by either tonight or Tuesday. I'll be doing a Colosso Vason fight. I'll be doing Gabriela Fundora versus her short notice opponent, Alexis Kubicki. Crocker versus Barrio, it's about to be a mid-off by definition. Do you think that's going to be the fight that they're going to make next here? Honestly, Barrios here, he would probably be the best case scenario when it came to the IBF, because he's fought in so low before, and he's not a big 147 pounder. I have no popular opinion about Mario Barrios, is I think he could be such a better fighter, or could have been such a better fighter in his career if he always wasn't chasing weight. Like, when you're always chasing weight as a fighter, no matter what combat sports you're doing, you're not spending that much time in the gym becoming and honing on your skills. You're spending so much time in the gym and fat camp, literally just trying to cut the weight and make the weight and put on the miles. So by the time that the actual fight comes around, you're not worried about the scales. You have so many fights before the actual fight that you're not honing up and becoming a better boxer. I'm not saying Mario Barrios would have been like, Terrence Crawford or anything like that. But what I am saying is I think his career has definitely been hindered by his continuous chases and changes of weight. I feel like, and that's a big portion of his camp, not going up to him and letting him know, man, we need to come to this weight. We need to take some time to make this weight, and then we'll focus on the actual boxing and craft and honing of skills. And that also could come down to his lack of discipline outside of the ring, for the fact that maybe he loves to eat a lot more. So how many picks did you get wrong over the weekend? I got Inoue 7-12 wrong. This one's hilarious, is I got Takai knockout wrong, but I did caveat that saying that fight is super close. And if you took the dog, you're not wrong for that. So I got Inoue wrong. I got Takai wrong. And there is one more. Inoue 7-12 was my biggest one that I got wrong, because I was overly confident in that. Takai knockout, I got wrong. That's it. I think that's it. I didn't tell anybody to bet the Canelo Crawford fight. If you want to count a lean is wrong, I leaned Canelo money line decision as leaned Canelo decision. So let's count those three. If we counted a lean Canelo decision, official picks and predictions, I got Takai and Inoue 7-12 wrong. So always transparent, always transparent. I was salty about that Inoue one, man. I had multiple parlays with Inoue 7-12. I also had, and I woke up at fucking 4:30 for that shit just to watch it. I had multiple parlays and multiple straight bets on Inoue 7 through 12. I was salty as hell about that. And the Takai knockout, I had one play on, and it wasn't even that big of a play, so I wasn't even that mad about it. I'm with you. We'll do some tape on Paro versus Paro too. I think I'm going to take the fight goes to distance. I mean, fight goes to distance seems pretty safe. Paro's a durable ass dude too, as well. I think Paro is a parable ass fighter, or durable ass fighter. Why did I say parable? But he's a durable ass fighter, so I like that off rips here. And at even money, it's pretty nice, mate. It's pretty nice. And I also think this is off rips. I think this is a Pepel, however you say his name. I think it's a step up in competition too as well. I got 2 incorrectly, technically 3. I'm very disappointed in Takai. Dude, Takai could have made that fight as easy as he wanted to by boxing at range, boxing on the outside. I know him getting dropped early in the fight with his back against the ropes, or not really back against the ropes, but getting parallel to the ropes, definitely changes the game plan. I mean, you're fighting there concussed at that point. And I knew we would see a little bit earlier stoppages than we would have seen in Japan. But it was a good stoppage. It wasn't a bad stoppage at all because he didn't even protest it. So Takai, if he would have stayed on the outside, skirted on the outside, and just continuously poked and prodded with the right hand, he could have made that fight so easy on himself. But he had way too many moments of setting his feet, literally like stop and start, setting his feet and trying to exchange with Christian Medina. And once he got dinged in the first round, man, that it was all a rolling ball of downhill fire from there. So I thought it was a stoppage. Not upset with that whatsoever here. Takai, man, he honestly, after him getting dropped, seems like my stream's fucking up. If you guys can hear me clearly still, please let me know because my screen keeps loading and loading. I figured Inoue would win decision because them Uzbeks got rock heads. MJ shown to be back foot when he senses a pressure like DePaulis. Fight goes the distance. Yes, took Inoue to decision. Fire ass bet, brother. Honestly, and it's funny as I knew I should have hedged decision. I literally knew I should have hedged my parlays. I should have just took Inoue by decision at plus 320. Had a happy day regardless because there was no way MJ was winning. I thought Inoue would go to the body and stop him because if you watch MJ's tape, every single fight, he doesn't defend his body. He refuses to. High guard, back foot, tries to counter, but he always keeps his elbows high and tight, open body, open mid area every single time. He never defends it. The stoppage was good. Absolutely agree. Papo gets stopped controversially, possibly Oscar cards. The one thing is, mate, I actually put this on my Twitter. Of all the promotions I've ever taped in my life, of every promotion, No Limit by a country mile is the most corrupt promotion. When it comes to stoppages, scorecards, if you guys can name a more corrupt promotion, let me know because I really think No Limit has the most corrupt refs, corrupt judges that they hire. They're just in pockets, mate. They're just no doubt in people's pockets. No Limit promotions, I just think they have such controversy behind them that it's hard to feel too confident on anything. But I'm excited to get down on the tape of it. I'll drop my official preview and prediction here for you. Boachuk and Takai, 2 most disappointing performances. You were on my live. Like I was saying, Boachuk's reaction time. Dude, was his reaction time, like I said I know Mikhail Fox, a different style. Was his reaction time not completely off against Adams? It was like he was a half beat off every time. He would try to catch, get caught right as he's trying to catch. And his lack of defensive efficiency and the way he fights is eventually going to catch up to him at some point. He must have taken this is the diminished version of Boachuk that Adams got. But Adams, let's not take away anything from Adams, came in great shape. His punch variation to the body was incredible. He found the holes in all of Boachuk's guard, all of his body. Absolute masterclass for Brandon Adams. His best performance by a country mile. Liam backhand, vicious. Popo has never seen that before. The only fights I've ever seen Liam fight are Subaru Matias, and then when I went to tape it for the Hitchens fight, and then Hitchens, of course. Hitchens, he had a good first 4 rounds, looked very unimpressive, slow feet, especially after round 6. And all he did was clinch and minimize against Subaru Matias. I'm going to have to do a tape refresher, so I don't want to say I love his backhand because I'm not even going to lie to myself. Or I don't want to lie to you guys because I want to be completely transparent. Haven't broken down all the full tape. Which were my 2 incorrect picks. Inoue masterclass, I don't know if MJ won a round. The only round you could even, again, I would even consider for MJ is possibly round 5, and that's being generous as hell. And then round 12 when he cracked Inoue in the last 10 seconds. And that's about it. I stay away from Boachuk money line since the eyes were so wide. Yeah, that was a dog or pass fight, and especially live, I was smacking Brandon Adams live, smacking him live. Fucking, I could not believe what I was seeing him. He was still a plus 150 while being up in 2 rounds with great work to the body. If I see a fighter that looks like he's in great shape and he's pushing the pace of a fight, he looks like, again, he's in good shape and he's banging out the opponent's paws, body, his opponent's body, banging the drum early and often, I'm going to take that fighter live almost every single time, almost every time. That was my first time seeing Adams, and holy moly, he is a great dude. His inside game was incredible, mate. His punch variation on the inside was incredible. His head placement was absolutely incredible. He was shifting Boachuk off the line at moments, man. One thing that no one was talking about, his catch and shoot, his hand fighting, and his skull and crossbones guard. Dude, his hand fighting and his catching and shooting was incredible. Boachuk was barely catching him clean ever. And then when he was at the mid-range, that skull and crossbones guard, dude, Brandon Adams, man, he's getting better with age. His Katsarakis fight, even though it's a loss, he looked good as hell in that fight, mate. Medina is nasty. I've been trying to tell people Takai was in trouble. Yeah, I mean, in my prediction, I said that was a close fight. I really, again, man, I wish I would have taken the dog. It's some of those fights that you sit back and see and you're like, man. And the one thing is Medina has had 12-round southpaw experience in Japan before, man. I should have banked on that experience. But, hey, got the prediction wrong. Good call by you, Kiza. Montana Love fight, Navarro. Oh, I did see the Montana Love fight, actually, when I was taping the Subaru Matias fight. Thank you for remembering that. Of course, Brock Jarvis fights Liam. Brock fucking Jarvis. Oh, Brock Jarvis, domestic level Brock Jarvis. Hey, Dogfather, make sure y'all are following Dogfather on Twitter. What's your Twitter, brother? It's MMA Guy 12365 or 12365 MMA Guy. One of the two. Search up the Dogfather. You'll find him. Sharp motherfucker, dude. He's a sharp cat. Chispa is the new Canelo. Stop it. Chispa's solid, though, man. Huge fan of Medina for that one, man. I mean, respect. Adams beating Virgil and Lubin. Lubin, yes. Virgil, maybe. No, I'm not jumping to say that. Hell no, not at his age. And Virgil just has a way of minimizing other people's pressures, and he also has a hell of an inside game. And the thing about Virgil Ortiz is, Virgil Ortiz can fight at all 3 levels. He can fight from the outside, he can fight on the mid-range, and he can fight inside. And, I think that's why Virgil Ortiz is one of the better 154-pounders. That could be my bias speaking too as well. That could very much be my bias speaking. I'll always be honest about the bias. Follow the Dogfather, 123456 MMA Guy. I knew it was a bunch of numbers, an MMA Guy. Virgil's body shots and jabs. That's what I'm saying, man. His body work is just vicious and disgusting. And with his jab at the long range, he fights at all 3 levels. Here are things that I think separate the elite and world-class fighters from everybody else, y'all. Is can you fight at all 3 levels? Inside, mid-range, long range? And can you change up your punch speed? That is one thing that all the most elite fighters do, is they change up their punch speed, their punch direction. They throw different, as in using a baseball analogy, they throw different pitches. They throw curveballs. They throw fastballs. Holy shit, y'all should see my dog right now. This motherfucker is so damn cute, bro. What the hell? Motherfucker, bro, one sec. I don't care. I'm showing y'all my dog. Look at Inoue, bro. Look at that sweet motherfucker. Inoue. What's up, sweet boy? Look at that fucking guy, mate. What a fucking guy. Sorry, y'all. Had to show off my boy. Thinking my next big bet may be on Henny. I'm actually, it's funny, as I was me and Dogfather were talking this morning, and I'm thinking maybe I'm taking Norman, but that's pre-tape. I'll read you the exact text and exchange. Shout out Inoue. You got a shout out from Swaggy, my boy. He's the guy that bought you your dog food this weekend. You're the reason I'm even buying him dog food. He'd be broke if we didn't get that call. I'm just fucking with you. Oh, sweet Inoue. But this is what I said on Twitter about Norman Haney. Just because this is all pre-tape too as well. I talked about, I was like, I'm okay with this because I'm a big fan of Norman Jr. I wouldn't mind seeing him unify at one point. Dogfather literally says, I got to have to see him get past Haney. I said 140 to 147 is a hard jump. I'll just read my thoughts. I think Haney was a bit gun shy against an older Wash Ramirez, and I've seen so many fight over fight improvements with Brian Norman that I'm a fan of Brian Norman, man. He can punch hard. He's athletic as shit. And I think those are two things when you see fight over fight improvement, him always consistently being in the gym, growing up in the gym too as well, are things that can always come together and melt together for the skills. And again, we've seen his defensive mechanisms, such as his feet and his head movement, fight over fight improve. We saw him get tagged a few times against Cuevas.
I already started my tape study after that tweet, actually. So I already got some notes going down. We saw him get tagged, especially with the straight right from Cuevas. And then we saw against Jin Sasaki that he was getting his head off the line far more. And when Jin Sasaki was trying, even though it was a super concussed Jin Sasaki after round one, Jin Sasaki early going in the round when he tried to throw the same straight right, different stances, of course, he switched off a line and was getting his head off the line earlier in that fight. So small fight over fight improvements. I still have to go watch the Gio Santillan fight and the fight before that. But younger fighters, man, I love seeing fight over fight improvements. And dude, what's Brian Norman? 25 years old. So, and again, moving up to weight class with the biggest punching champion, it's a little bit worrisome for me for someone that's gun shy. So that's just something I'm thinking pre-tape, and all bias too as well. So we'll see how it goes, man. I'm curious to see what the actual tape prediction is. Here's a few fights of examples that I've had a pre-thought mind and changed my thought after the tape. Higa Vargas. I thought Daigo Higa was going to beat Vargas. Then I did the tape and I was like, holy shit, Vargas should beat Higa, which I don't care if it was a draw. That should have been a dub for us. And there's one more fight too as well. I was pretty confident pre-tape, and after tape, I switched my thoughts on it, but I can't think of which one. So yeah, I think the PTSD, God, I'm slow today. The PTSD from the Ryan fight made Haney better, albeit more gun shy. He stopped backing up in straight lines against Ramirez. Yes, that is one thing. His angles were absolutely far better in shifting, which would be Norman's biggest path to attacks. Did we know? I'm curious to see. That is one big question I have about this fight is, can Norman cut off the reign versus Haney? Because Haney's movement, incredible. And we have to give Haney's resume respect. He beat Loma. Yes, he beat Loma, y'all. Let's see, why am I blanking? Is the Zaire Abdullah fight. Jose Ramirez more of a wash. Jose Ramirez here for you. Linares, Cambosos. Like, this dude has fought in a bunch of good dudes. Let me pull up his box rec because I know I'm missing. Bro, how the hell did I forget Pro Grace before even pulling up his box rec? How the hell did I forget Pro Grace off the top of my head too as well? Devin Haney's wins, bro, we have to give him respect, man. Like, he fights everybody. Let's see, Devin Haney. I feel dumb as hell. The facts today, guys, I am slow. It's been a long weekend. Bro, Regis Pro Grace, Lomachenko, Jojo Diaz, and that's before Jojo Diaz got older too as well. Linares, Gamboa, Zaire Abduliev. I love that win. I thought that was an incredible win. A younger Abduliev too as well. I'm kind of thinking that it might be Ramirez fight 2.0. It will be really hard not to give Haney the round circling and jabbing in. Yeah, the one thing is Ramirez has nowhere near the feet or maybe not the feet, I shouldn't say, but the athleticism and the ability to cover distance that Norman does. And even though Ramirez, I don't think he really even cracked Haney clean once that whole fight. I think he legitimately stayed safe the whole fight. When someone is that young and athletic and can cover distance with both hands, that is something that worries me against someone that needs to circle and skirt for 12 rounds. Can he stay safe for 12 full rounds against that big of a puncher? Again, all pre-tape fights. So once I do my tape, we'll deep dive into it. I'll hit you up on Discord, Swaggy, so that way we can just talk to it. We can deep dive it, me and you. And hey, y'all, when my boy Swaggy starts his fucking YouTube, I'm telling you guys, this dude's sharp dude. He was telling me I wasn't giving Goodman enough credit, which I wasn't. This weekend, again, I'm sorry, I'm melding all the bets. The Agyarko call was a banger of a call, mate. So when Wesco, my boy Swaggy, starts his YouTube channel, we're not only going to get him onto the Breaking Bad boxing channel, but we'll make sure to give him a post so that man gets more likes, more followers, more subscribers. Sharp dude. Trust me, y'all, when I say that. So I'll slide into the Discord, brother, and we'll be chopping it up a little bit. My biggest two reasons for taking Haney and what I believe we'll see. Lateral movement, clinching until the ref breaks it. That's another thing I didn't even take into consideration is the clinching. Didn't take that into consideration for the Yankiel Khedorova fight. I'm done for that. I think Norman could cut off the ring, but Haney will clinch and hold. Minimize damage. That's big. That was Paro's best strategy against Subaru Matias, in my opinion, and that's why he beat Subaru Matias, mate. It will be hard for Norman to really get clean shots on Haney. Once I do the tape, we'll dive in. Always love, brother. Mate, you're for real, man. I appreciate you even coming in, always dropping comments and showing love, man. It means a lot to me. I mean, I don't think you guys understand, man. That means a lot to me, y'all. We started this weekend at 238 subscribers and we got to 300. So I love y'all, bro. I appreciate y'all, man. I love chopping up with boxing. This is not an exaggeration. None of my homies watch boxing. So it was cool seeing some of them actually talk about boxing a little bit this weekend. And I literally tried telling all my dudes that were betting the Crawford and Canelo fight, to fade that fight because all my homies were betting Canelo. And I tried telling them all, just make your money on the Mabili Lester draw. Try telling them. Not one of my homies listened to me, mate. Not one of them. So, but yeah, man, that's why I like this community, man. I just like chopping it up with boxing, giving a little bit of a, I guess too as well, what people don't understand, it gets to kind of show what you like to do for your personality, right? Like I like to chop it up. I like to talk boxing. I like to break down film. I just have a really analytical brain, right? I like to think. I feel like there's not a sport on planet Earth that I couldn't break down, if that makes sense. And not even saying it at a high level, but couldn't learn the nuances, the ins and the outs and all of that. So when it comes to learning the nuances, I think that's what I'm really loving about boxing too as well, mate. So I'm in the same boat. All my friends are MMA fans. That's why Johnny's Discord is fire, bro. All my friends are MMA fans too as well. And I like MMA. It's just, I'm just going to be honest with you. I just don't love it as much as I love boxing. Nothing at its peak, in my opinion, beats a great boxing match. I don't think there's anything, not a sporting event on planet Earth at its peak, that beats the highest level competition of boxing. Like, this was a true spectacle this weekend that we got to witness, y'all. And when you see craft and certain fighters that hone a specific craft and make it look like poetry in motion, it's the best. I always will bring him up, and I know he's an older fighter, and people are probably sick of me bringing up this OG, but I'm going to bring him up. Ricardo Finito Lopez. Every time I want to watch poetry in motion when it comes to fighting, Ricardo Finito Lopez, man. He makes it look like poetry in motion. Y'all could have hated on Mayweather all you want. He made it poetry in motion when he actually went out there and fought. And some people make it beautiful violence, mate. Some people are just great at making this violence look beautiful. Inoue is one of those people. Inoue is one of those people that makes violence look beautiful. So I agree, bro. We're going to sound corny, but I remember crying at the Fury 2 Wilder fight. It's storytelling in the ring. Bro, that's not corny at all. I'm getting chills. Literally hair standing up right now, thinking about Chris Eubanks' dad walking out with him, bro. Like, my hair is standing up, dog. It made me emotional in different type of ways I can't even tell you, mate. Doesn't sound corny at all. Fuck all that, bro. This is the one thing too as well that I can't stand amongst combat sports communities, is that fools feel like they can't express themselves like who they are. Fuck that. Be who you are, mate, and fuck everybody else. And I mean that full-heartedly, mate. Like, half these internet trolls, anyways, 90% of them hide behind a face screen and aren't with it anyways. So fuck that. Not corny at all, man. I fucking love that, dude. I just think that's absolutely incredible. Lester Martinez fight was fire. Best fight of the weekend, mate. Best fight of the weekend. Impossible fight for me to score. I remember the whole story back then. I remember the whole Fury backstory of him being on suicide watch, man. Wilder's daughter, crazy. Dude, I just love Fury's story. I love Dave Allen's story as someone I love talking about. Suicide's a topic that's really near and dear to my heart, and that's why hearing about Ricky Hatton broke my heart. I lost my brother to suicide 5 years ago. And he was my brother's my best friend, mate, and so he's the first ever dude that I've ever like really watched fights with and things of that nature. He unfortunately passed away the weekend that Dustin Poirier finished McGregor for the second time. So, but yeah, man. So suicide's a topic that's near and dear to my heart. So whenever I see stuff like that, it touches me nearly. Rest in peace to fucking Ricky Hatton, mate. Like, genuinely, man. Men, and I mean this full-heartedly. I'm not saying this. If you ever feel like you need to reach out to somebody, mate, you just leave a simple comment. Let me know how I can find you. DM, X, Twitter. I'll talk to anybody at any time. I don't sleep. I literally don't fucking sleep, guys. So you guys really ever need anything, anytime, ever, your boy Nick here from Breaking Bad Boxing will chop it up with any of y'all. And I'm not just saying that. I mean that full fucking heartedly. Come find me on Twitter. You got me on the Discord. You need my fucking number, I'll give you my fucking number for real, man. So you guys ever need anything, man. So sorry, y'all. Not trying to get it too dark and deep in here. So we'll get back to the rest. How did you add mate to your vocab? I'm going to be honest with you. It's hilarious as watching so much UK and British boxing. And if it offends you, my apologies. That's not what I mean to do. I just love it so much. I think the term is just the fucking best. So I just love dropping it every now and then. Yeah, I use a lot of, I guess you can say pronouns, mate, champ, brother, dog. Like, these are just things that I always say. So, man, rest in peace, Alexis, mate. Rest in peace, Alexis. Man, rest in peace, Alexis Arguello. Rest in peace to Steven, man. He was a good mate, y'all. He was a lot better than I was, a lot better with his words. That's for sure, man. Hey, don't be sorry to hear that. It's part of life. The one thing that we have to know is, that's part of life and part of life experience. Dante, respect to you, brother. Respect. So I really mean that, y'all. Reach out if you guys ever need anything. Like, I'd much rather chop it up in here with the live or just one-on-one with you guys if you ever feel any type of way, man. Because I know, especially with boxing, and if you are betting, I know the betting game could be crucial sometimes too. And just when you feel alone in life, man, it can be crucial in general. So you're a good man. Need more like you in this world, bro. Thank you, Magnifico. I appreciate you, mate. I really do. I just think in general, the one thing is I just think we need to reciprocate a little bit more love all to each other in general. Just love just needs to be shown throughout in general, mate. And that's even reaching out a little bit of what up. You know, one thing when my brother passed away that I really learned too as well is this is going to sound crazy is I think how many people did my brother pass by that day that maybe a smile or a conversation could have changed his mind and could have changed his day. You know, I think about that often. So I think when I try to come across people and talk to them, and I'm not just saying this to sound corny or be cheesy, is I'm a very upfront and honest person. So when I come across people, I try to talk to them if I could change their day in any way. So it's pretty big on me. Hitman got me into boxing. Rest in peace, the fucking legend. Did someone say Lubin was gonna win Virgil? No. Someone said that Brandon Adams beats Lubin and Virgil Ortiz. They did not say Lubin was gonna beat Virgil, but Lubin is a great fighter, mate. Let's not disrespect him. Hey, brother, any word on Jay? No, sir. I did start off with the live saying, I hope everyone, send some love for my boy, send some prayers more specifically. Or, I know some people aren't, a believer in God. So send some energy out to the universe for our boy. Just because I haven't heard from him, I'm just as in the dark as you guys. And as you guys know, I have a daily correspondence with Jay. Today, we were supposed to do our Monday Big Bag Boxing show. Still haven't heard from him. So I've only been able to pray. And I will promise you guys, if I get any update that I can give out at any time, I promise I will post it in my community section right away. I will do an emergency live stream. I will make it be known. I will make it be known. If I hear anything, you guys will be known as the first thing. So please send some prayers and loves to my brother, man, because he deserves it for real. Jay has given out so much of himself to this YouTube community that if anything, you guys can do anything, it's at least sending some love and prayers, man. It's at least sending some love and prayers. Why do you think Canelo can't throw combos anymore? He relies on single shots. I think it comes with age. I think he's also worried about gassing himself out and his shape as the fight goes later into rounds. I think that does come, and not age, but I think he has so many years and years and tread on the tires that's what it comes down to. Salute chat. Salute, bro. What up, Crispy Chris? Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well on the road right now, friend. Great call on Adams versus Boachuk. I hit the Adams decision plus 1,200. Banger. Let's go, City by the Bay. Let's go. That's a super banger. Plus 1,200. I wish I would have taken Adams by decision. I took him by decision live at plus 800 because that's how I kind of saw the fight going downhill, but I just smashed his money line. I still got Virgil, but Lubin is good. I also agree. I also still got Virgil. We're all human. Got to spread more love to all. By the way, who you got in the Nakatani Inoue fights happen? I agree, bro. We all just need to, understand that we're all human. Mistakes happen. Life happens. And we just really need to show love to each other, mate. And I hope that comes across. I know one live I've done that I've had a joke that didn't come across with a lot of people very well, which I do apologize for. But I hope you guys know, man, I'm all about love. When I say love, peace, and chicken grease, I really mean that. I really hope that you guys know, I really pray for all y'all. This is not an exaggeration, bro. It sounds dumb as hell. I literally say I pray for the people all my lives when I pray before bed. So it's just kind of funny, mate. So that can make me sound corny right there, but it is what it is. Thanks, bro. Because Jay, the homie, Jay's a great man, bro. Definitely praying for him and his family. I really hope he's doing good. And I know the community's worried about him. I sent him a text this morning, just seeing if anything comes back, because it is going through as an SMS, it says, but that's because I have an iPhone. So I don't know how that necessarily works, if that maybe doesn't send the way specifically. Boots is going to keep up and be the king of the division for sure. At 154, yeah, I can see that. I think Boots is just naturally one of the best talented fighters. I just don't love his come up for promotion, honestly. So I feel like he hasn't been promoted the best. I feel like Boots at this point should be fighting far bigger fighters than Karen and Umaslima. But if honestly, Boots may be one of the most pound for pound skilled boxers. I'm on the Boots hype train. Boots may be one of the most skilled pound for pound boxers on planet Earth. He can do it all, mate. I didn't think about this until literally this morning, but you're spot on. I think Canelo, we saw at 160 with the counter combo punching, is long gone. Not because he's lazy, because his body can't sustain it. 100%. I just think all the tread on the tires at this point have been burned out. This dude's been a pro since he was what? What did they say? 16 years old, 15 years old? And he's been fighting. Why does it sound like that? That was hilarious. Yeah, bro, that dude's fought at the highest level too as well. I'm really, from my early tape study, whatever they give us the under on Oscar Collazo versus Jason Basin, I love. So I'm worried they're going to give us some stupid number at like 5.5 or something, which I would still take. When Oscar Collazo under rounds drops, please, God, give us 8.5. Give us another gift like we got with Anthony Olasquaga at 8.5. So when you see that drop, one and only Fari, when you see the Oscar Collazo under drop, I'm loving that under off rips. I'm going to play him just like I did. I'll tell you guys off rips, just like I did Olasquaga, all the way down to 1 through 3. I'll do that the same exact way I did. I am praying we get an under 8.5. We probably don't with Collazo. If we get a 7.5, that'd be pretty nice too as well. I think both those gifts would be lines. I think he's going to get Jason Basin out of there pretty early for my... By the way, I've only taped 1 fight for Jason Basin and 2 fights for Oscar Collazo so far, so I have to finish up my tape, y'all. But as of right now, I feel pretty good about Collazo getting him out of there very early. Oh, I didn't even answer the question. Who do I favor, Nakatani Inoue? I'm so sorry. My bad, G. I have the unpopular opinion that Nakatani probably loses both super fights he could have had. I thought he would have lost to Bam, and I think he still loses to Inoue. But Inoue is going to be putting a lot of tread on his tires fighting Picasso in December. How long does he have for to take off to rebuild just to rebuild a little bit? And Inoue is going to be 33 by the time he fights Junto. If they fought today, right now, taking Inoue. But by the time they fight, it could be a Nakatani pick. And unpopular opinion, if Bam Rodriguez would have moved up and Nakatani would have stayed, I would have taken Bam all day over Nakatani, champ. I'm worried something serious happened, but I can say this. I know something is serious. It has to be serious. Jay would never abandon the Rush Hour Fight Club. Jay would never abandon. That's his baby. That's the craft that he has owned. He has built that from the ground up. He streams every fucking card from pillar to post, from PM to AM. He does absolutely insane, mate. Absolutely insane. So I really hope he's okay. Like I said, all we can do is pray. Let me start busting through a few of these comments. I'm sorry I'm lagging behind. Boots is the future. Boots is super, super solid. He's could be one of the future he's one of the last future hopes for American boxing. That's for sure. You watched Dana White Contender Series, bro? Absolutely. First 2 weeks were winning for me. Got crushed last week. Absolutely crushed. I am going to do small. I'm going to try to figure out the plays I like this week, but I'm not confident on anything. If I ever give out an MMA pick, it's only because I'm super confident in it, like I was with Diego Lopez. That's the only MMA pick I gave out last week because I was super confident in that one. And we saw that opening sequence with the grappling, why I was overly confident, but Gene's a fucking dog. I think Nakatani super slept on, very skilled and dangerous early on and late in the fight. Oh, no, he definitely is. People don't understand how good Ryosuke Nishida is. And the way he made Ryosuke Nishida's look like Two-Face, the way he blew up Ryosuke Nishida's face, Jojo Nakatani is the goods. Real ones know pound for pound talent, like top 5 pound for pound talent right now. Do you feel Bivol doesn't get enough love? Some folks don't even have him. I was just talking to my buddy about this. Don't even have him top 5. My list is Usyk, Crawford, Bivol, Inoue in that order. My top 5 right now in order would be Usyk, Crawford, Inoue. You really can intermix 3 fighters, in my opinion. Bam Bam, Nakatani, and Bivol. But yeah, I think Bivol is mad slept on a lot of people's pound for pound list. What book has the fight available? They only have the money line as of right now, one and only Fari. Just keep an eye out on it. Usually midweek for these Golden Boy cards, probably Wednesday, they'll have an over-under. So keep an eye out on the over-under. I'll do a live stream once it does drop. And I'll post in the community section for you too as well. If you check out the community section in the post, but I'll jump in a live stream to have that drop too as well. So next time you either see a live notification or even see that I was live, you'll know that those over-unders drop so I can go leave the play of the week. I agree, bro. I actually think Inoue against MJ show why he could beat Nakatani. His best weapon is probing lead hand. If Inoue takes that away, then Nakatani goes to the inside. Legitimately, dude, I think we showed level. I think Inoue, we saw a very patient, a very gear-worthy, I can box you from any range fight. And undeniably, the athleticism and the speed advantage would still go to Inoue, even with Nakatani moving up. Nakatani, I think, has... What does Nakatani do better than Inoue, guys? What does Nakatani do better than Inoue? I'm trying to think. He doesn't have better feet. Doesn't have better defense. Mar, my brother, salute, bro. Hope you're doing well. Sorry, I just got to your comment. I'm trying to rush down and work through them all. When that goes inside, Inoue outworks him and probably stops him. Like, what does Nakatani do better than Inoue? He doesn't have better feet. He's not more athletic. Does he have bigger pop? I don't think so. I mean, I guess his long-range weapons could be better just because he doesn't have to joust in and use his athleticism to get his long-range weapons off. That's about it, I would say. Maybe his long-range weapons. Mar, salute, my brother. Per Bill Simmons, there will be a Crawford Alvarez 2. Can you see Crawford getting a stoppage in the rematch? Shit, man. If this fight happened, if they really were going to do a rematch of this fight, which is a huge moneymaker, and I can understand why, the scorecards weren't even controversial. If anything, they should have been wider for Crawford, to be honest with you. Crawford getting a stoppage in the rematch. No, I didn't necessarily see anything that was going to break Canelo. I don't think the stoppage would happen. I don't think the fight would go the same way. I don't think the fight would go the same way for either fight. I don't know. Maybe Crawford could get a stoppage since he got his timing down. And they say round 13 is usually the going of rounds 12. And Crawford was really putting an ass whooping on him in 11 through 12. So maybe Mar, for sure. If they do a rematch on that, I didn't do a breakdown on the Crawford Canelo fight, but I will promise if they happen to do a rematch, you will get a breakdown early from me. Who you got? JDM Islam. It's going to be a sick fight. I got JDM pretty easy in that fight. I think JDM's going to keep it from range. I think his defensive grappling prowess is strong enough and his hips are strong enough to keep Islam off of him. If Bilal couldn't wrestle fuck, who is I'm just going to say a juice ball at 170 pounds, I don't think Islam, who's also a juice ball moving up, will be able to wrestle fuck JDM. Got JDM all day. And as you guys know, I'm a jiu-jitsu guy myself, and he's working with my GOAT, Craig Jones. Not my GOAT, but I love Craig Jones. He's a beast. I would have picked Nanatani any day of the week to beat Bam. I think his angles are way too good. Way too good. But that is why I said it is my unpopular opinion that I think Bam would have won that fight. I wish Mr. Honda believed in Bam as much as you. Me too, bro. That's the super fight I truly wanted. I know that could have been, again, unpopular with Inoue, but man, I wanted that super fight. Hey, I was actually just looking at this card here on the Golden Boy and thinking of you because of the Ruslan Abdullayev from what you brought up from one of my earliest live streams, bro. I swear to God. Let me read your comment. Ruslan Abdullayev is squaring off against Kevin Johnson this weekend. Solid rumble. Johnson has built a rep off of giving up and coming guys. Built a rep off giving up and coming guys. A tough time has never been stopped. Not sure he survives against Rush. I'm actually going to do a tape breakdown on that, like a quick tape on that one here. So I go into the fight, properly and live. But dude, I swear to God, I was just thinking about you when I saw that he was on that undercard when I was looking at it. I think Nakatani is more slick, which is why I give him the underdog chance. Hey, honestly, though, I don't think picking a dog in that fight's bad whatsoever. I don't think you could be wrong in the way you pick super close fights like that. It's just the way I see fights. Again, my opinion and thoughts are not better than anyone else's. It's just simply how I see the fights, mate. Worst of all, Nakatani is very prone to backing up in straight lines. Dude, you even saw that against Nishida. You saw that against... Who was this fight that he got the 9th round stoppage in? I'm mixing up names. But you saw that he backs up in straight lines. Inoue kills people when they back up in straight lines. If the fight ever happens, I really think Mexican Monster will be the first to stop Canelo. Dude, punches and bunches, Benavidez. I think Benavidez would have a heyday with the Canelo that we saw against Crawford and the heyday that we saw against the Canelo, against Edward Berlanga. Heyday with that dude. And Benavidez has good long-range jabs. Everyone talks about it as a combination puncher on the inside. Benavidez has good long-range weapons too as well. I like Benavidez. I'm from Arizona, so I'm more biased to my boy Benavidez as well. I'm a huge woman boxing fan. Lauren Price is the best after Shield. Yeah, Lauren Price is super solid. I'm a fan of women's boxing too as well, man. I'm excited for my girl, Gabriela Fundora. I'm curious to break down her opponent in Quebec too as well. So we'll see how that goes. OBB, what's your thoughts on Silva losing? Well, I had Lopez winning. Anyway, good. Sorry, y'all. If you guys heard a whining and a squeak in the background, my dog was like squeaking and whining, but he was dreaming. Fuck, dude. What a dream. Boy's dreaming of the pet cemetery or something. Holy hell. So thoughts on Silva losing. I just rewatched that fight this morning, bro. Dude, I love that fight, man. That sequence of the spinning back kick to where Diego took him down, dumped him, flattened him out, and then got a high mount and started causing off damage. Incredible. Gene Silva's distance and long-range weapons are incredible. His front kicks were great this fight. He was eating a lot of leg kicks from his wide stance. He just got when they say lose your shape, that's what they mean. He's throwing wide, slipping off of his base. And he literally threw extremely wide when Diego Lopez threw that spinning back elbow. So he had no base to catch it whatsoever, no base to defend, and literally no base under him. So he got dropped, busted up. Diego Lopez is a fucking killer, and his jiu-jitsu is so good, dude. So good. One sequence you saw when he took his back first is he had, which you don't really see when people take people's backs. Usually when they have them, or I'm sorry, when they have them flat, usually they hook both their ankles under their opponent's ankles. He hooked one ankle under and one ankle over Gene Silva's ankles and over under with his ankle hooks. Fucking sick. I love Alicia and Bumgarner, but you clearly lost that fight against Miranda. Clearly lost that fight. Can you help me out here? Who is Alif Nur Tehran? Who is she the champion in her division? Who is the other champion that she should be fighting with? Having a mind block. Katie Taylor, GOAT of women's boxing. I wouldn't say the GOAT, no, but she's a beast. How do you break down film? Oh, sweet. I love talking about this. Let's break down my process. So first of all, I go to a fighter's, if you're asking me where and how, I break them down on YouTube, UFC Fight Pass, ESPN, Daily Motion, and OK app too as well. So those are all things I use for breaking down film. So I usually try to start with whom I perceive in my head as the underdog first, the contender, which maybe could be a flaw in my game. And then I go and watch. I try to watch the last 3 to 4 fights. I never like to go past 4 years. I never like to go back to a fighter's fights from 4 years ago because fighting in combat sports, boxing, MMA is big on what have you done for me lately? What's your recent shape? So then I will go and break down both fighters of the fight. I'll break down their last 4 fights. In this case, Collazo and Jason Bathan. And then in my head, I will go and say, what do I like about this fighter? What do I dislike about this fighter? And I try to find fights in between all 4 of those fights I taped, or all 5 of those fights, depending on how quick they went, depending on how much fight I need to tape. I try to find similar opponents and common opponents and what they do against those common opponents and similar opponents well. Then when all of that is done, I sit there and I think, how can this fight go? How can fighter A win? How can fighter B win? And what is the most real likely scenario of how this fighter wins? And that's how I come to that conclusion. So, yeah, that's my whole tape breakdown process. Hopefully that wasn't too long and winded, Mar. Do you think Benavidez are a weight bully or just, no, I don't think he's a weight bully. He's just a big dude. Dude, bro, I've seen the Benavidez family. Again, I grew up in Glendale. They grew up in Maryville, literally neighboring neighborhoods. Dude, they're big people. Like David Benavidez is a big ass, dense ass dude that walked around with a lot of weight. He lost a lot of weight when he was younger. His bones are just thick and dense. He's not a weight bully, mate. He could have continued to make 168, but he was sick of waiting around for the title. He said, I'm just going to move up to 175, which is only a 7-pound weight jump, and be able to fight all these fools, which we've shown that he's been able to fight all these fools. And we've shown he's been able to take a shot from all these fools. Look how David Morrell did him in round 11, and he took a great shot and still got up. Gene Silva got bad sportsmanship, man. Tried going after Diego after. What I loved about Gene Silva's coach is his coach got on his ass for that. Go back and watch that. His coach was like, hey, like yelling at that boy, like, you better chill, bro. Don't be doing all that. Yeah, and I don't know, though. The one thing is, I don't know if Diego Lopez was barking at his coaches. It didn't seem too disrespectful. Just him and one coach were kind of pawing at each other. But the head coach, the dude that wears the glasses and has like the whitish hair, I really like him as a coach, man. He got on Gene Silva's ass instantly for punching Diego Lopez after. I did feel bad for Gene Silva because, he was really emotional after that loss. Silva lost that fight because Lopez beat him up first round, embarrassed him, and Gene Silva just wanted to kill him after. Yeah, that dude had bloody red kill mode, but Gene Silva had great cardio and pace, man. After all the escapes and hip heist he tried to do from that mount position, people that have never grappled before don't understand how hard it is to hip heist 4 to 5 times, turn your back, and then turn back to mount multiple times while getting punched up, bro. Holy shit, bro. That's exhausting work for both fighters. Turkey supposedly asked if he could make 168, which means Turkey may be trying to make Benavidez versus Crawford. I love that fight. Crawford gives him a lot of problems with his movement, with his ability to keep his back off the ropes, with his switch hitting. But if they get on the inside, that's a hell of a scrap. I would lean Crawford off rips, though, before, just because I'm never, I do want to say this. I have to put this out there because I've got to say this. My buddy asked me for all my notes on Crawford, Canelo. Final thoughts. If this fight was between 2 fighters of the same weight class with the same skills and listed above, I'd be picking Bud at dog money 6 times a week and 2 times on Sunday. Too bad I couldn't get past that weight. Man, I missed out on an opportunity there. But yeah, bro, I would favor Crawford over Benavidez right now, but it's a great fight. I'd love to see Meyer versus Price, 5-star matchup, in my opinion. Doesn't Michaela Meyer, doesn't she have a fight coming up, or is that Sandy Ryan that I'm thinking about? Michaela Meyer, box rec. Yeah, the Mary Spencer fight. Michaela Ryan versus Mary Spencer's. Wilkins Matthew fights on that fight card too as well. Canadian, I'm pretty interested in. So Benavidez versus Crawford be super interesting to see. I just feel like Crawford has nothing else to prove. To me, it's tied to Usyk as the GOAT of this generation. Yeah, I don't think either one of them have anything else to prove at this point, but they're both going to fight one more time, most likely. Let's be honest here. Crawford would be smart if they did do the rematch, because they probably have a rematch clause of some semblance. So yeah, here's one: Roach or Pitbull. Pitbull, mate. Roach is a good fighter, but I think he's overrated now by the masses due to his draw with Tank, who I think Tank didn't show up to fight that night. Roach is good from long range, but the difference is this fight will not be at long range. This fight will not be at long range. Pitbull Cruz will refuse to make this fight at long range. He will refuse to make this fight at mid-range. Roach doesn't have truly all that great of feet. He will meet you in the middle, and that's the issue, is he's going to meet Pitbull in the middle. And when he meets Pitbull in the middle, Pitbull's going to tag off too many body shots. Roach could clip him for sure, and Roach has some skill, but I also think people forget that Lamont Roach, this fight, is this at 130 or 135? People forget Lamont Roach is a long-time 130 pounder. And even though Pitbull may have fought technically at 130, Pitbull is just too thick and dense, mate. So I like Pitbull a lot before tape. Have you seen fight on James Wilkins before? My boy Vasoli fighting him on the Boots undercard. Wonder if any good. I haven't seen James Wilkins before, but if you would like me to, I can actually just drop a tape and breakdown on that card. One sec. I'm going to write all suggestions on tapes and breakdowns that I can do for you guys. Let me find my pen. Vasoli's the goods, bro. I like Vasoli, though. I just want to say that. Vasoli versus James Wilkins. Roach Lamont, which I would have done anyways. Yeah, I just think the inside pressure of Pitbull is the inside pressure of Pitbull is going to be way too much, and the size and the true density size discrepancy, that's big. What's your robbery of the year for so far? Boachuk versus Ortiz, Big Baby Miller. Last year for me, it was Coelho versus Padbastri. Not even close. Mirko Coelho versus Padbastri. Mirko Coelho clearly won that fight like 8 rounds to 2, and they somehow gave it to the Padbastri. Robbery of the year so far. Shit, we may have just seen it, bro, with Patty Donovan. We may have just seen it with Patty, and that could be super recency bias. We may have just seen it with Patty Donovan. Yeah, Pitbull going to be on his chest. I can't wait and take that plus money. It's going to be amazing, bro. It's going to be amazing. I'm confident pre-tape before, but I'm pretty sure that's one of those fights I'll be more confident after tape. Also, Pitbull's literally filled out. Dude, he's so thick and dense, bro. Like, Pitbull is so thick and dense, mate. Pause. Holy shit. Vasoli, best UK prospect, I think. Yeah, in the UK, I mean, there's some prospects. I guess we can't even consider certain people prospects anymore. So, off the top of my head, I can't even like. So, love your boxing talk. My name's also Nick, also brother. Hell yeah, Nick, my boy. So now I know how to prefer you when you're jumping in the chats. I appreciate you, mate. I'm gonna be going for about 5 more minutes, y'all. I gotta get my dog on a walk here, and I haven't eaten this morning, so I'm gonna make some steak and eggs. Boy's hungry. I got some grapes and some mango too. It's gonna be gas. Who you got? Shakur versus Teo rumored fight. Coin flip, in my opinion. Man, this fight's super interested for me. So let me just break down a few quick thoughts. I was overly impressed with Shakur's last performance. His catch and shoot. He literally fought damn near a whole fight on catch and shoot and just made Zepeda look bad, bro. And it pop in his hands looked absolutely incredible fight too as well. So that's one thought on it. And one thing is what version of Teofimo Lopez is going to show up, mate? What version of Teofimo Lopez is actually going to show up is that we have to ask ourselves. Is it going to be the Teofimo Lopez that shows up to his highest level fights like Vasily Lomachenko, where he clearly won round 12 and clearly won that fight, or Josh Taylor, where he took it out of Josh Taylor's soul specifically? That's one thing that I think we have to kind of keep in specific question for. And then we have Shakur here. Is he going to fight on the front foot or fight on the back foot all day? Because this is really going to be a fight on 2 fighters that are okay with staying on the back foot and just using their athleticism to fight. So this fight has a lot of stylistic matchup. Off rips, I lean towards the in and out and the athleticism of Tio. But Shakur, I think, is a generational skilled talent. So those are just kind of ways that you can put it all together here for you. So we'll see how that goes, mate. So Tam Tybal fights, bro. She fights on a Soul Kudos fight this weekend, bro. I love me some Soul Kudos, mate. So my boy Mar knows his boxing, bro. Little women's boxing. Let's go. Roach Cook and Pitbull. LOL. Hey, I have to do the tape and maybe see, but everyone's entitled. Everyone. That's the best thing, mate. We're here to give differing opinions too. Why do you think Roach cooks Pitbull is the question I want to see. The issue I have with it is I don't think Roach can fight well enough on the inside, and Pitbull always finds his way on the inside. Maybe if he fights like Rayo Valenzuela, makes him turn and miss the whole time. So then in that case, I can understand. But again, my boy, let me make sure that I'm cracking all the tape before I give like any official prediction on that. So I guess you can say Roach got robbed versus Tank. That should have been a knockdown. And yeah, you could say he got robbed for sure. That should have been a knockdown. Roach neck built like a Ford F-150. He might throw so much money on Pitbull decision. Dude, Roach is durable as hell. I forgot the UK boxer that he went and boxed against. That was a puncher too as well at 130. Didn't even get dropped. Super solid. Roach next built. As a huge Loma fan, I used to hate Teofimo a little, but he always steps up in big fights. I think he has great talent. That's the thing, man. Teofimo steps up in big moments. So Roach will literally box his head off. And you don't want to bet against a confident guy. Yeah, confidence is a big thing in combat sports. That is a huge, huge thing that we have to say. Confidence is a huge thing in combat sports. Momentum's a huge thing in combat sports. So, but yeah, once I crack the tape, I'll drop an official prediction on that one. Tio makes Shakur fight on the front foot and counters him all night. I'm also a big Tio fan, so I might be biased. I mean, Shakur's a generational talent. People love to hate on him. He's generational. Yes, sir, Mar. Breakdowns that we have for this week. Jason versus Vason, or Oscar Collazo versus Jason Vason. Gabriela Fundora versus Alexis Kubicki. And I will be dropping by most likely tomorrow morning, Liam Paro versus Papo. So I'll be dropping Liam Paro Papo for sure. I'll be dropping Kubicki Fundora for sure. Collazo versus Jason Vason for sure. I have enough time to get a fourth one in. If anyone has a suggestion on a fourth fight you guys would like me to break down this week, if I can find enough tape on it, of course. I never want to break down a tape that I never want to break down like I guess you could say like tape on anything that I don't know like anything on. So if I can't find tape on it, I guess we can say here for you. So let me see here. Do you think Tank has the most frustrating career in boxing so far in terms of what decisions he's making? I just don't think Tank loves it, man. And Tank is so naturally talented and so naturally powerful that he doesn't necessarily need to love it. Like, I think that's a big thing, is that he doesn't necessarily need to love it to be as awesome and as talented as he is. So these are, I don't know. I guess in my thoughts here for you. You got an eye, you got your eye on any upcoming talent the public doesn't know about yet. Man, I watch so many. I don't have an honest answer off the top of my head, and I don't want to mislead you in any way. Let me think. I mean, I was super high on Jordan White. And then we saw what happened against Reneas Taez Garon. There's some dudes on the last Golden Boy card that were really good on the Kenneth Sims card. Not even just Edwards too as well. Let me what I will do, Nick, is if you could for me, if you're in the next live stream, I will get that list of prospects, I guess, fighters I should let people know about that I should have. But off the top of my head, I don't. And I don't even want to lie to you, mate. I'm big. If you guys haven't noticed by the time at this point, I'm big on transparency. I'm big on always keeping it 100 with you guys. Never talking about a fight I know tape on and things of that nature. But I will definitely get that list compiled for you, because that's actually, in my opinion, it's actually a good video idea. If you don't mind me stealing that idea for a video, I think that's a good video idea. Is top 10 up-and-coming prospects that the public may not know about. So, Nick, if you don't mind, I actually think I may make a video on that one, if that's cool with you. I'll definitely give you a shout out for giving me the idea of the video too as well. So if that sounds cool, let me know. I was betting big on, dude. I was betting big on Jordan White by decision, bro. I was so confident in that. I had multiple lays that came down to that moment too as well. But I cashed out for one sole reason. Interview the week before, his dumbass said he doesn't watch boxing or tape. Hole in my game. I was talking to someone about holes in my game. Let me tell you holes in my tape breakdown and betting game. I don't watch enough interviews of fighters. I don't see who the judges and the refs are before fights. Two big holes in my games. Yeah, those are two big things. And promotional backing and biases, holes in my game. So what I need to start doing is watching promotional interviews and fighters. And Taez Gairon, bro, dude's always going to fight, bro. Do it. Thank you, Nick. I will absolutely do it. I will drop a video of the top 5 to 10, depending on how I find it, up and coming prospects. I'll give a little bit of what I like and dislike about them too as well. And of course, I'm gonna give you your shout out and love, my bro. So I really appreciate you. Yo, I follow a lot of boxing channels. You might be the most underrated in terms of knowledge and picks. Keep it up. Hey, Dante, thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man. I'm definitely the new kid on the block, man. I mean, I just started this maybe 6 weeks ago. I've always loved boxing. I've always loved breaking down tape. And I was kind of makes me sad, bro, because I really my boy Jay, bro. My boy Jay, he's kind of the one that put me on to making a boxing channel. He was always telling me, he's like, bro, you love talking boxing. Your picks are solid. So that's the biggest thing, mate. So keep your eyes on Giogo Vasoli. No, definitely. Vasoli's a dog. I think it was you, Kiza, that just brought it up, actually. That dude's a dog. It's crazy. He doesn't look young, but he has that amateur pedigree, but he punches. He fucking punches. I loved his last fight and his last performance, man. Incredible. Yes, interviews are so important. I said big on Puello a week before the fight. He said, I quote, I spar great against Liam Paro, but he beats Matias. So I should beat me and Matias too. I actually saw that clip on Twitter, actually. Fun fact, actually. I gave that out. Me and Jay did a live stream. I gave out Subaru Matias by decision plus 550 decision. That is the pick to make it all a roundabout circle. That's the pick that Rush told me, all right, man, you need to start dropping your picks. Because not many people were giving out Subaru Matias by decision at plus 550. And I gave it out on the Rush Hour Fight Club. So it was before Breaking Bad Boxing. Yo, Nick, I got to ask, where the heck can I find info on routes for upcoming bouts? Seems like insider info. You usually have to find the promotional. So this is, again, a hole in my game. The only fights that I've seen it them make it public for are big fights. We can never know pre-fight, unfortunately. So at least from my understanding, maybe if someone in the comments can help us out with that. If anyone in the comments knows to where, if anyone in the comments knows where to find refs, infos, and pre-fight backing, please let us know. That's where I found out about you, and I didn't listen. I chose Puello. I'm sorry. Hey, honestly, though, you choosing Puello, Chris, thank you for finding me. Appreciate you. That fight was a 50-50 fight. You could have scored it 7-5 either fighter or 6-6, legitimately. And I'm saying that as a Subaru Matias super fan and backer, as someone that backed him. That was one of my bigger plays, I guess you can say. I think putting again, I'm not a full-time gambler. I'm not a professional gambler, lower unit gambler. I put 4 units on that, which for me is $100. I'm a $25 unit gambler specifically, and I felt super confident on $100 at plus 550, which is crazy when I think about it here, because I've had days and moments, man. Like, you go on my Twitter and you see that I put $500 on Janibek to stop his last opponent. Like, that's a super bet, whatever you would call that. Like, how do you tell someone put 20 units, quote unquote, on something like that? And I put like 250 on Neil Magny's last fight not to go the distance. So when it comes to units and stuff like that, that's why I never like to tell people I'm like a professional gambler, because I don't know how to gauge units. If I feel confident, I'll put some money on it. If I feel decent on it, put a little 25 here and there. When it comes to betting, knowing who the ref is very crucial, and that's no one talks about. Need to no doubt fill that hole in my game. It was very entertaining, but yeah, you were spot on. Great fight, man. Shout out my boy Jay. Yeah, I had Puello winning 7-5, but it wasn't mad to the L because Puello watched the tape. He would have won 11. Legitimate. You know what's funny, man, is if Puello learned to keep his ass off the ropes. That was my biggest thing, is Puello in multiple other fights we saw had issue with his back against the ropes. I have a problem with anyone that can't keep their ass or their back off the ropes against Subaru Matias, because the minute he puts you square, which he gets square by definition, he starts banging out the bodies. Hate fighters that have too much of an ego. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ego kills the soul. Doesn't matter if it's fighting or in life, baby. Ego kills the soul. That's why I'm always okay with being transparent about how much I bet. That's because I don't believe in unit shaming. And I know there are people that watch my picks that bet thousands. I mean, hey, Wesco, I mean, you know, just people that bet thousands on it, man. So I respect and love everybody, man. And another thing too, is when it comes to ego and just in life, mate, just in life, is you have to kill your ego and be able to know when you took something wrong. I'm okay with telling someone sorry and that I was wrong and keeping it moving and learning from there. It's the most important part of life. So did you see they're using AI judge for the Canelo card? I think the AI gave the decision Canelo. I saw the AI judge scored it a draw, actually. I could be looking at another Twitter page, but I thought they scored it a draw. West Facts GOAT. Have a best week. Looking forward to more boxing talk and getting some winners. Nick, have a great week, brother. I appreciate you. Actually, guys, I think that's actually a great spot that I can wrap it up on. I actually only planned on coming on for 30 minutes. And y'all, my boys, you guys, and if there's any ladies, of course, y'all kept me going in the chat for an hour and 15 minutes. So I appreciate the hell out of you guys, man. Like, I can't tell you guys enough, man. Just chopping it up with you guys. I'll be live midway through the week, probably Wednesday or Thursday. You guys can absolutely be expecting that I will have the Liam Papo breakdown done by Tuesday. And then I'll be having Fundora and Jason Vason coming out. And shout out my boy Nick. We'll be having that top 10 underrated prospects coming out here soon, y'all. So with that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all. Love, peace, chicken grease. See you guys at the next time.